The white crack in the sky of the world of void grew wider. It sounded like a piece of thick fabric tearing apart slowly. The sound echoed in the empty space. It was a terrible, screeching noise that made everyone cover their ears. The tournament of power was supposed to be over. Universe 7 had won. Survivor Goku had made his wish. The other universes had just blinked back into existence. Jiren, Toppo, Hit, Kaba. They were all sitting on the spectator benches, looking confused and happy to be alive. But that happiness died instantly. The pressure coming from the white crack was not like anything they had ever felt before. It was not the holy pressure of a god. It was not the sharp pressure of an assassin. It was heavy. It felt like history itself was pressing down on their shoulders. It smelled like old blood and dry dirt. Survivor Goku stood in the center of the broken arena. His body was screaming in pain. The black sparks of the backlash from Mastered Ultra Instinct were still dancing on his skin. He looked up at the figure floating in the crack. The figure was a Saiyan. There was no doubt about it. He had a tail. It was a brown, furry tail that flicked back and forth like a whip. But he looked different from Goku or Vegeta. His hair was long and wild, reaching down to his waist. It was black, but it had a reddish tint in the strange light of the void. His body was covered in red fur, similar to the Super Saiyan 4 form that Goku had seen in other timelines. But this looked more natural, more primal. His eyes were yellow, like a wolf's eyes. They were cold and ancient. "Who are you?" Survivor Goku asked. His voice was raspy. His throat was dry. He tried to get into a fighting stance, but his knees buckled. He almost fell over. Survivor Vegeta rushed to his side. Vegeta grabbed Goku's arm to hold him up. Vegeta was also exhausted. His final explosion had drained him completely, but his pride would not let him kneel before this stranger. The stranger did not answer immediately. He floated down slowly. He did not use ki to fly. It looked like he was just walking on the air. He landed on the single piece of rock that was left of the fighting stage. He looked at Goku. Then he looked at Vegeta. Then he looked at the gods of destruction in the stands. His gaze stopped on Beerus. Beerus, who had just woken up from fainting, froze. The god of destruction, who feared almost nothing, looked terrified. "Yamoshi," Beerus whispered. The name floated through the arena. Whis, the angel, narrowed his eyes. He tapped his staff on the floor. "It seems the legends were true," Whis said calmly, though his hand gripped the staff tighter than usual. The original Super Saiyan God, the spirit that wandered the cosmos. But he should be dead. He should be a spirit. How is he here, in a physical body? The stranger, Yamoshi, spoke. His voice was deep. It sounded like rocks grinding together. "I am the memory of your race," he said. "I am the beginning, and I have come to witness the end." He looked at the Super Dragon Balls floating in the sky. The giant golden dragon, Super Shenron, was still there, waiting to go back to rest. "You wished for the erased to return," Yamoshi said. He shook his head. "A foolish wish. A mortal wish. You disrupt the balance. The weak must be purged, so the strong can thrive. That is the law of the jungle. That is the law of the Saiyans. By saving them, you have doomed them to weakness." Survivor Vegeta stepped forward. He spat blood on the ground. "Do not lecture us, Ancient One," Vegeta growled. "We fought for our survival. We won. We earned that wish. If you have a problem with it, you can take it up with my fist." Vegeta tried to power up. He screamed. He wanted to turn Super Saiyan, but only a small spark of yellow light appeared. It flickered and died. He had no energy left. He was running on empty fumes. Yamoshi smiled. It was not a nice smile. It was a smile of pity. "Look at you," Yamoshi said. "The prince of a dead planet. You rely on the hair dye of the gods. blue, red, silver. You have forgotten your roots. You have forgotten the Uzaru. The true power of a Saiyan comes from the beast within, not from copying the angels. Yamoshi raised his hand. He didn't fire a blast. He just swiped the air. A massive shockwave of wind hit Vegeta. "Gah!" Vegeta cried out. He was thrown back. He tumbled across the broken rocks. He hit a piece of debris and stopped. He couldn't stand up. "Goku!" Happy Goku from the bench yelled. Happy Goku wanted to jump in, but he was stuck in the spectator box. The Grand Priest had put up a barrier. "Grand Priest, let us out!" Happy Goku shouted. "He's hurting them." The Grand Priest floated high above. He looked at Yamoshi with curiosity. "This is an unexpected development," the Grand Priest said. "Zeno-sama, are you entertained?" The two Zenos looked at each other. "Who is the hairy guy?" One Zeno asked. "He looks strong." The other Zeno said, "Is it a bonus round?" "Yes, bonus round." The Grand Priest nodded. "Since Zeno-sama allows it, the event will continue. The barrier is lowered. Anyone who wishes to fight the intruder may do so." The barrier around the spectator benches vanished. Instantly, warriors from all universes stood up. They were fresh. They had been healed when they were revived by the wish. Hit from Universe 6 adjusted his coat. He looked at Kaba and Caulifla. "Stay back," Hit said. "This energy is dangerous." Jiren from Universe 11 stood up. He walked to the edge of the platform. Topo and Dispo followed him. "Jiren," Topo said, "we just got back. Do we really want to fight again?" Jiren looked at Yamoshi. "He insulted strength," Jiren said. "He called us weak. I will show him." Jiren jumped. He landed on the rock in front of Yamoshi. Hit jumped. He landed on the left side. Topo jumped. He landed on the right. Three mighty warriors surrounding the ancient Saiyan. Yamoshi looked at them. He didn't even get into a fighting stance. He just stood there with his arms hanging loose. "A gray alien who seeks absolute power," Yamoshi noted, looking at Jiren. "An assassin who skips time. And a wannabe God of Destruction. A circus of failures." Jiren did not talk. He attacked. He threw a punch. It was his fastest punch. The punch that had given Goku so much trouble. Yamoshi didn't dodge. He caught Jiren's fist. He caught it with one hand. "What?" Jiren's eyes went wide. Yamoshi's grip was like iron. "You punch with your muscles," Yamoshi said. "But your spirit is hollow." Yamoshi squeezed. Crack. Jiren flinched. The bones in his hand were grinding. Hit seized the moment. He used his time skip. He froze time for 0.1 seconds. He moved behind Yamoshi. He aimed a lethal strike at Yamoshi's neck. Time resumed. Hit's fist connected. But it didn't pierce. It felt like hitting a mountain. Yamoshi didn't even turn around. His tail moved. The tail whipped out and wrapped around Hit's neck. "Gishchik!" Hit choked. Yamoshi slammed Hit into Jiren. The two strongest warriors collided. Topo roared, just as flash. He fired a barrage of red energy blasts. Yamoshi didn't block. He just roared. "Hurrah!" The sound of his roar created a physical wall of air. The energy blasts hit the sound wall and dissolved. Yamoshi moved. He was fast. He didn't disappear like he was using instant transmission. He moved like a predator. You could see him, but you couldn't react. He appeared in front of Topo. He grabbed Topo's big mustache. He pulled Topo down and kneed him in the face. Crack. Topo flew backward, unconscious. It had been 10 seconds. 3 of the strongest fighters in the multiverse were on the ground. Survivor Goku watched from the floor. His eyes were wide. He's too strong, Goku whispered. "He's not using God Ki. It's something else. It feels ancient." Whis, who was watching closely, explained to Beerus. "It is primal Ki," Whis said. "Before the gods gave order to the universe, energy was wild and chaotic. Yamoshi wields that chaos. It is raw nature. It cannot be sensed clearly by those who use God Ki because it is the opposite of order. Frieza, who was hiding behind a rock, watched this. Frieza had been revived too. He still had his halo, or maybe not, since the wish was broad. He checked his head. No halo. He was alive. Oh ho ho, Frieza chuckled nervously. This monkey is a monster. I should stay hidden for now. But Yamoshi turned his head. He looked straight at the rock where Frieza was hiding. I can smell you, lizard, Yamoshi said. The stench of your bloodline is familiar. Your ancestors were the ones who destroyed my home. Frieza froze. He realized he had been found. He stepped out. He tried to look confident. My name is Frieza, the Emperor of the Universe, Frieza said. And you are just a filthy monkey from the history books. Yamoshi raised a finger. Die. A beam of red light shot from his finger. It was thin, like a needle. Frieza didn't have time to transform into Golden Frieza. He put up his arms. The beam pierced his forearm. It went straight through his shoulder. Gah! Frieza screamed. He fell to his knees, clutching his bleeding shoulder. Pathetic, Yamoshi muttered. Survivor Goku managed to stand up. His legs were shaking violently. Stop it! Goku yelled. Why are you doing this? We just saved everyone. Yamoshi turned to Goku. You saved them to feed your own ego, Yamoshi said. You want to fight strong guys. You treat the lives of mortals as a game. That is the sin of the modern Saiyan. You have lost your purpose. We were not warriors for fun. We were warriors for survival. Yamoshi walked towards Goku. I will correct this timeline, Yamoshi declared. I will erase the weak universes myself, and I will start with the one who made the wish. He stood in front of Goku. He was tall. He towered over Goku. He raised his hand to deliver a killing blow. Suddenly, a green light exploded nearby. Kefla, Caulifla, and Kale from Universe 6 had put the Potara earrings back on. They had fused again. Kefla burst out of the light. She was Super Saiyan 2. Her hair was green and spiky. Hey, Grandpa, Kefla shouted. Pick on someone your own size. Kefla charged at Yamoshi. She was fast. She was brimming with limitless energy. She threw a punch. Yamoshi blocked it with his forearm. Kefla spun and kicked. Yamoshi ducked. She fired a point-blank blast. Gigantic burst. Green energy engulfed Yamoshi. Did she get him? Survivor Vegeta asked, hoping. The smoke cleared. Yamoshi was standing there. He had a few scorch marks on his red fur, but he looked annoyed more than hurt. You have potential, Yamoshi said to Kefla. But you are a fusion. A trick. He grabbed Kefla's leg. He swung her around and slammed her into the ground. Then he dragged her through the dirt and threw her into the air. He jumped up and hammered her down with both fists. Bam! Kefla crashed into the stage. She diffused instantly. Caulifla and Kale lay there, unconscious. This was a massacre. Nobody could touch him. Jiren stood up again. He was bleeding from his mouth. His pride was hurt. I am Jiren, he growled. Jiren's aura exploded. It was violet this time. He was pushing past his limits again. He rushed Yamoshi. They exchanged blows. Jiren punched Yamoshi in the chest. Yamoshi stepped back. Finally, a hit. Jiren punched again. But Yamoshi caught the rhythm. He dodged Jiren's left. He dodged Jiren's right. Then Yamoshi's eyes glowed red. He opened his mouth. He fired a mouth blast. It was a roar of pure energy. It hit Jiren point-blank in the face. Jiren flew back, crashing through the remaining rocks. He didn't get up this time. Survivor Goku looked around. Everyone was down. Jiren, hit. Toppo, Kefla, Frieza. Even Vegeta couldn't move. It was just him, and he had no energy. I have to do something, Goku thought. He looked at his hands. They were trembling. He closed his eyes. He tried to find the silver light. the Ultra Instinct. But it wasn't there. His body was too broken. The gate was closed. He tried to find the anger for Super Saiyan. It wasn't there. He was too exhausted. He was just Goku, a normal Saiyan. Yamoshi stood over him. "Any last words, false god?" Yamoshi asked. Goku looked up. He didn't look scared. He looked sad. "I'm not a god," Goku whispered. "I'm just a guy who loves to fight. And I love this world." Goku clenched his fist. He punched Yamoshi's leg. It was a weak punch. It barely touched the fur. It was pathetic. But Yamoshi didn't laugh. He looked at Goku's eyes. He saw the fire, the refusal to give up, even with zero energy, even with broken bones. Goku still threw a punch. Yamoshi paused. "That look," Yamoshi muttered. "I remember that look." For a second, Yamoshi hesitated. But then his eyes hardened. "Courage does not excuse weakness," Yamoshi said. He raised his hand. His claws glowed red. He was going to rip Goku's heart out. "Wait!" A voice shouted from the sky. It wasn't a fighter. It was the Supreme Kai. Shin. Shin flew down. He landed between Goku and Yamoshi. He spread his arms. "Please stop," Shin begged. Yamoshi looked at the small Kai. "A Shinjin," Yamoshi sneered. "The creators who sit and watch while the universe burns. Move aside, or I will kill you too." Shin trembled. He was terrified. But he didn't move. "This man saved the multiverse," Shin yelled. "He brought everyone back. That is not weakness. That is mercy. And mercy is the quality of a true king." Yamoshi paused. "Mercy?" he asked. "Mercy is for the victors." "Yes," Shin said. "And he won. He defeated Jiren. He defeated Zamasu. He won. And he chose to save his enemies. That makes him stronger than you. You only want to destroy. He wants to build." Yamoshi stared at Shin. Then he stared at Goku. He lowered his hand slowly. He looked confused. The primal ki inside him was turbulent. It responded to emotion. "Building," Yamoshi whispered. Suddenly, the white crack in the sky pulsed. A bolt of white lightning shot out of it. It didn't hit Goku. It hit Yamoshi. "Arr!" Yamoshi screamed. He grabbed his head. The lightning was not attacking him. It was controlling him. The white crack wasn't a portal he opened. It was a portal he was sent through. Someone else was pulling the strings. "Kill them!" A voice echoed from the crack. It was a distorted, mechanical voice. "Kill the anomalies!" Yamoshi's yellow eyes turned completely white. He lost his mind. He went berserk. "No!" Yamoshi yelled, fighting the control. "I am the Saiyan King!" But the white lightning was too strong. His muscles bulged. His fur stood on end. He roared like a wild beast. The intelligence in his eyes vanished. Now there was only destruction. He backhanded Shin. Shin flew away like a rag doll. He grabbed Goku by the throat. He lifted Goku up. Goku choked. He kicked his legs. Yamoshi squeezed. Goku's vision started to go black. "This is it," Goku thought. "I can't breathe. Let him go." A blast of blue energy hit Yamoshi in the face. It was Survivor Vegeta. He had forced himself to stand up. He had forced a tiny bit of ki out. It did no damage, but it distracted Yamoshi. Yamoshi dropped Goku. He turned to Vegeta. He roared. He charged at Vegeta. Vegeta couldn't dodge. Yamoshi tackled Vegeta. He pounded Vegeta into the ground. Vegeta screamed. Blood splattered on the rocks. Yamoshi was going to beat him to death. Goku watched. "Vegeta!" Goku yelled. He tried to move. He crawled. He dragged his body across the sharp rocks. He had to save Vegeta. He remembered the Patara earrings. Shin had dropped them when he was hit. They were lying in the dirt a few feet away. The yellow earrings. Goku looked at them. Fusion. It was the only way. But Vegeta hated fusion. and Vegeta was being crushed. Goku reached out. He grabbed one earring. He threw the other one towards Vegeta. "Vegeta!" Goku screamed. "Catch!" Vegeta was being punched in the face repeatedly. He could barely see, but he heard Kakarot's voice. He saw something shiny flying at him. His Saiyan instinct took over. He raised his hand. He caught it. He looked at the earring. He knew what it was. Damn. Vegeta coughed. He looked at Yamoshi, the monster destroying him. He looked at Goku, crawling in the dirt. He hated this, but he hated losing more. Vegeta put the earring on his right ear. Goku put the earring on his left ear. Yamoshi raised his fist for a final blow. But suddenly, a magnetic force pulled Vegeta away. Vegeta's body flew towards Goku. Goku's body flew towards Vegeta. They collided in a burst of light. It wasn't the green light of Kefla. It was a blinding, holy, blue light. The energy explosion knocked Yamoshi back. The light swirled. It created a tornado. From the center of the light, a new voice spoke. A dual voice. "I am neither Goku nor Vegeta. I am the angel of your destruction." The light faded. A warrior stood there. He wore the orange and blue gi of Goku, but with the gloves and boots of Vegeta. His hair was spiky like Vegeta's, but with Goku's bangs. His ki was immense. It wasn't just big, it was infinite. It was Vegito. But wait, they didn't have enough energy to go blue. They were in base form, base Vegito. But even in base form, the power of two survivors fused together was astronomical. Vegito cracked his neck. "All right," Vegito said. He looked at his hands. "It's been a while." He looked at Yamoshi. "So, you're the legendary Yamoshi?" Vegito asked. "You look like a carpet that needs beating." Yamoshi roared. He didn't care about fusion. He was a berserker now. He charged at Vegito. He threw a punch that could shatter a planet. Vegito didn't dodge. He caught the punch with one hand, just like Yamoshi had done to Jiren. "Is that it?" Vegito asked. Vegito squeezed. Yamoshi roared in pain. Vegito pulled Yamoshi in and headbutted him. Wham! Yamoshi stumbled back. Vegito didn't stop. He unleashed a flurry of kicks. "Yosha!" Vegito yelled. Kick, kick, kick. Each kick sent shockwaves through the void. Yamoshi was being pushed back. The primal ki was strong, but fusion was a multiplier that defied logic. Yamoshi tried to fire his mouth blast again. Vegito saw it coming. He created a small energy sword on his finger. Spirit sword. He slashed upwards. He cut the energy blast in half. The blast split and exploded harmlessly behind him. Vegito jumped. He landed a kick on Yamoshi's jaw. Yamoshi flew up into the air. Vegito put his hands together. This ends now. He started to charge a Kamehameha. But then, he stopped. He felt something. The white lightning controlling Yamoshi. It was connected to the crack. If he killed Yamoshi, the crack might remain open. And the voice from the crack, it was still there. Vegito smirked. He had an idea. He wasn't going to kill Yamoshi. He was going to free him. Vegito vanished. He appeared behind Yamoshi in the air. He grabbed Yamoshi's tail. "Sorry, Gramps," Vegito said, "but this is for your own good." Vegito ripped the tail off. It was brutal, but it was necessary. The Uzaru power, the primal power, was linked to the tail. Yamoshi screamed. His red fur began to fade. His muscles shrank. The white lightning crackled and disconnected. Yamoshi fell. He turned back into a normal-looking Saiyan. He wore ragged ancient armor. He looked tired. He looked old. He crashed onto the stage. Vegito landed gracefully. He crossed his arms. He waited. Yamoshi gasped for air. His eyes turned back to yellow. The madness was gone. He looked at Vegito. You, Yamoshi whispered. You cut my link to the moon source. I saved you, Vegito said. You were being controlled. By that thing. Vegito pointed at the white crack. Yamoshi looked up at the crack. Fear appeared in his ancient eyes. The Omni King of the Void, Yamoshi muttered. What? Vegito asked. Yamoshi coughed. There are realms beyond this multiverse, Yamoshi said. Realms where Xeno has no power. The White Void. They saw your wish. They saw you breaking the natural order. They sent me. As a vessel. Yamoshi looked at his hands. I failed them. Now, they will come themselves. The white crack began to vibrate. It turned from white to black, then to red. A giant eye appeared in the crack. An eye the size of a galaxy. It looked down at the tiny arena. It looked at Vegito. It looked at the super Dragon Balls. Target locked. The mechanical voice boomed. Resetting timeline. The Grand Priest stood up. His face was serious. This is dangerous, the Grand Priest said. This entity is intruding on the Xeno domain. The Grand Priest flew up. He put his hands out. He created a barrier around the entire world of void. A holy blue barrier. The eye in the crack fired a beam of red light. The beam hit the Grand Priest's barrier. The void shook. The barrier cracked. The Grand Priest was struggling. Everyone was shocked. The Grand Priest was the strongest being they knew, besides Xeno, and he was struggling against this eye. Vegito looked up. He knew the fusion wouldn't last long. They were already tired before fusing. He looked at Yamoshi. Can you fight? Vegito asked. Yamoshi stood up. He was weak without his tail, but he was still a warrior. I can lend you my strength, Yamoshi said. The last of the primal ki. Do it, Vegito said. Yamoshi placed his hand on Vegito's back. He poured his ancient energy into Vegito. It felt strange. It was hot and wild. Vegito's aura changed. It became blue, but with streaks of red and ancient symbols floating in it. Super Saiyan blue. Primal. No, just a temporary boost. Vegito flew up. He flew towards the crack. He flew past the Grand Priest. Hey, Shorty! Vegito yelled to the Grand Priest. Let me handle this. The Grand Priest looked surprised. Vegito charged his ultimate attack. Final. Kamehameha. He poured everything into it. Goku's hope. Vegeta's pride. Yamoshi's history. The beam was massive. It was a swirling dragon of blue and gold. He fired it right at the giant eye in the crack. The beam hit the eye. The eye blinked. The voice screamed. Error. Error. The explosion was blinding. The white crack began to shatter. It was sealing shut. The beam pushed the intruder back into its own dimension. With a final screech, the crack closed. The eye vanished. The void was quiet again. Vegito floated there for a second. He smiled. That was fun. Then, he diffused. Survivor Goku and Survivor Vegeta separated. They fell. They were completely unconscious. They fell like stones. The Grand Priest caught them with his magic. He lowered them gently to the ground. Yamoshi was sitting on the rock. He looked at the two fallen Saiyans. He smiled. A real smile this time. Perhaps. Strength has many forms, Yamoshi whispered. The danger was gone. For now. But the warning remained. Realms beyond Xeno. The White Void. They had attracted the attention of something much bigger than they could imagine. Whis landed next to Goku and Vegeta. He healed them just enough to wake them up. Goku opened his eyes. Did we win? Goku asked. Whis nodded. You did. But you made quite a mess. Vegeta sat up. He looked at Yamoshi. What do we do with him? Vegeta asked. Yamoshi stood up. I will go, Yamoshi said. I cannot stay here. My time is past. I will return to the spirit realm. But be warned. The seal is broken. They know you are here. Yamoshi began to fade. His body turned into particles of light. Protect your universe, Saiyans, Yamoshi said. You are the last line of defense. He vanished. The Grand Priest clapped his hands. Well, that was exciting. Xenos were clapping too. So cool. So scary. The Grand Priest looked at the fighters. The tournament is officially over. Everyone, please return to your universes. He snapped his fingers. Jiren, Toppo, and the Pride Troopers were teleported away. Jiren gave Goku one last nod of respect before disappearing. Hit, Kaba, Caulifla, and Kale were teleported away. Frieza was teleported back to Hell. No. Whis stopped him. Lord Frieza, Whis said, you helped save the universe. As a reward, Lord Beerus has authorized your full revival. Whis tapped his staff. Frieza's halo disappeared permanently. He was fully alive. Frieza smirked. Excellent. I will return to my conquest then. He didn't say thank you. He just flew away into space, or was teleported to his ship. Now it was just Goku, Vegeta, Beerus, and Whis. And the Super Dragon Balls. Wait, they hadn't used the wish yet? No, they did. Goku wished the universes back. The dragon was gone. The void was empty. So, Whis said, about that new timeline. Survivor Goku stood up. He looked at Survivor Vegeta. They had fought Zamasu. They had fought Jiren. They had fought Yamoshi. They were tired of fighting. But they were Saiyans. We'll go, Goku said. To the new timeline. Vegeta nodded. A fresh start. Whis tapped his staff. A portal opened. It showed a green, peaceful Earth. A timeline where Goku Black never happened. Where Beerus didn't die. Go, Whis said. And live well. Goku and Vegeta walked towards the portal. They stepped through. The light consumed them. They arrived on a grassy hill. The sun was shining. Birds were singing. It was beautiful. It was peaceful. Survivor Goku took a deep breath. We made it, Vegeta. Survivor Vegeta looked around. It's too quiet. But as they looked at the sky of this new world, they saw something. Far away, in the stars. A shadow. A giant metal shadow. It wasn't a ship. It was a planet. A metallic planet. Big Gete star? No. It was something else. And on that planet, a signal was blinking. A signal that matched the energy signature of the white crack. The episode ends with Survivor Goku and Vegeta standing in the peaceful new timeline, thinking they are safe, but unknowingly staring at the next threat looming in the sky. Peace is an illusion. The war has just changed battlefields. There will be more episodes.